All right, are we recording? We rocking and rolling? Boom. All right, a little bit different of a video today. I want to tell you a story. Stay with me here. So, a grandfather and his granddaughter decide to have a beach day, right? So they drive up to the beach. It takes them a little while to get there. They make small talk on the way, and they hop out of the car. They put their feet in the sand, and they're starting to take their walk. They're going to go walk for a few miles down the beach, and they're going to come on back. The granddaughter is just a child. She's about 7 years old, and the grandfather is super grateful that, he has the time, and also that he has the strength and ability to spend this time and do this activity with her. So they're walking together, and they're still making small talk, and they're kind of trudging away through the sand, and they can hear the sounds of the waves rolling in. It's a beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky, perfect breeze. You couldn't have pictured a better day, right? So they're walking and they're talking for a little while, and then they notice up ahead that there are these little white and purple dots all along the beach. They're like, what is this? What's going on here? What is this? So as they keep approaching, the granddaughter runs up ahead, and she grabs one of the white dots. She brings it over. She says, Grandpa, what in the world is this? And, his eyes are kind of bad, so he takes his glasses, he puts them on, he picks it up out of her hand, and he looks, and he goes, oh, this is a sand dollar. You ever seen one of these? It's a sand dollar. She's like, no, it's a rock? Like, what's going on? Because it was bleached, and it was white. It was about yay big, about the size of a cookie, right? Just a little bitty thing. She holds it in her hand. She says, it's a rock? A dollar? Like money? What is this? What's going on? And he goes, no, they're little creatures, and they get washed in when the tide rolls in, and if they can't make it back, then they go and they sit on the beach, and they cook in the sun, and they die. And when they bleach out, they make these cool little shells, just like this, and they're everywhere. And she's like, oh, is that why some of these are purple? Is that why this one is purple? And he's like, yeah, that one's alive, but this white one that you see here is bleached, and it's dead. And she looks in horror at the ones in her hand that's white, and she goes, oh my God. So she takes the purple one and she throws it back into the water, and there's purple sand dollars all over the beach, and she's just frantically like, oh, well, and she's picking them up and throwing them, picking them up and throwing them. And the grandpa looks at her, and he's like, oh man, what have I done? She seems like she's panicking, but she's just diligently picking them up and throwing them over, picking them up and throwing them over, and she's just kind of sweeping all along this area. And he grabs her and he says, hey, honey, it's okay. Like, wait. Like, you understand, you can't save them all. There's probably 50,000 of these things on the beach in front of us. I mean, as far as I can see up ahead, and of course my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, but they're everywhere. It's no point. It's okay. Let's enjoy our walk and let's keep on going. And she looks up at him, and she kind of purses her lips for a second, and she looks away, and she says, well, Grandpa, like, I know I can't save them all. That's not why I'm doing this. And she goes, but don't you think that it means all the world to him? And she holds up a little purple sand dollar, and she goes, don't you think that me stopping to do this means everything for this one? She throws it in the water. She picks up another one. What about her? Do you think that it matters for her if I picked her up and threw her back in the water and made sure she, was able to live another day? She picks up another one. What about him? And throws it in the water. The grandpa kind of leans back for a second, and he's like, And then he stoops down alongside her, and they both start throwing sand dollars into the water. So you say, okay, well, Hunter, what's the point of this story? Like, why bother? What is the moral to this, 4 minutes of my life that you just wasted that I can't get back? The moral to the story is that not everyone can be saved, right? Not everyone can be saved. And when you're creating content for finance especially, right? It's not something that's super interesting to everybody. It's not something that everybody's willing to really commit to. And you just have to understand that there's such a big problem out there. You're looking at it, there's just millions and millions of people, but not everybody can be saved. And I want you guys to know, if you are listening to the videos that I crank out, I told you 5 videos a week. I'm committing to it. I'm sticking to my word. 5 videos a week. I understand that I can't save everybody. Some of these videos, most of my videos get like 20 views, 10 views, 5 views, 2 views. But if you're subscribed to this channel and if you're listening to the things that I say, especially consistently, you are worth it to me to come here. Like, I'm going to pick you up and throw you back. I may not have all the answers. I'm not a multi-billionaire, that works on Wall Street. I'm just not. But what I do know is what I've lived through. And that's coming from rock bottom and getting, fairly well in my 20s to be able to say that I had, 6 figures just chilling, and I was able to move in and out of markets, and I was able to invest in different things. Like, that's meaningful. And I know that it can make a difference in the lives of a lot of people. Like, maybe, $100 million isn't where I'm at right now, but shoot, I could tell you about the first $500,000, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell you about the first 100,000, what that feels like. I can tell you about the first 10,000 and the first 5,000 and making trades and all these different things. And I just don't want it to be left unsaid that regardless of what happens with this channel, if it blows up, great. If I can help 6 million people to become financially free and they're not, checking labels at the grocery store, that's a fantastic thing. And I will honestly, truly feel in my heart of hearts that, like, I did something great here. But even if it means that one of y'all were to say to me, Hunter, I saved my first $1,000. And, like, my kids, when it was time for the Scholastic Book Fair, I gave them $100 and they bought all the books that they were interested in. And 20 years from now, your kid is a paleontologist because they bought those books. Like, that's a good deed was done. A good thing was done. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why, like, yeah, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin and I'm going to talk about trading options and getting some money and pulling it out of the market and being able to put it into your forever pile of Bitcoin so that way you can, have ownership of something. I'm going to continue to talk about those things, but man, oh man, oh man, you guys are worth it, okay? And not everybody is going to be able to take this message and really do something with it, and I understand that, and I get it, and I'm going to let it be what it is. And the reason why I want to talk about this today actually is because I don't usually do back and forth on social media. That's not really my vibe. But I actually had a loved one of mine who makes content as well in the finance space. And she was talking about how if people take advantage of this time right now during this recession, because, it's no one wants to call it what it is. We've been kind of going through stagflation for a while. We had a recession and then the definition suddenly got changed, and now I don't know what the hell is what anymore. If you can just change definitions like that, I guess, words are kind of useless. But I digress. She was talking about how the people who take advantage and become responsible and really step up and own their shit during this time period are going to come out of this downward swing in the economy. When things start to heat up again, those are going to be the winners, the new winners. Because it's always, no one ever stays at the top forever. No one ever stays all at the bottom forever if they are genuinely working or not working, right? If some action is being taken or inaction is happening, then there's going to be a change of positioning because somebody else is slacking harder than you are and somebody else is busting their butt much harder than you are, right? And so those people are gonna be the winners. The people who say, you know what, yeah, I wasn't on my P's and Q's. I was spending money recklessly. I don't know my numbers. I couldn't tell you right now, if without checking my banking app, how much money I've got in my account. I don't know how much Bitcoin I have. I don't have it in cold storage either. I don't know all of these things. And they just are complicit. The people who are complicit with not understanding and willing to be the same version of themselves tomorrow as they were today, those people are falling behind, right? And the people who are saying, you know what, I gotta know this. I have to. Like, my future's dependent upon it. My future, when I say my future, like your kids and all that, they're depending on you. Like, no one else is coming to save you. Like I said, SNAP benefits just got canceled. There's really people out there living right now who need an external force to feed their kids, to put bread on the table. Like, that's got to be such a terrifying feeling in their heart and soul. And it's not a moral failure. It's a lack of knowledge and direction, number one. And then if you already have the knowledge and direction, a lack of willingness to go there. So one could imply that might be a moral failure, but I'm not here to be Plato or Aristotle, and I'm certainly not Socrates, right? So what I'm here to tell you guys is, like, she's right. If you take advantage of this time and this, downswing in the economy, and you're building the good habits, and you're stacking up when things start to, dip their way down. I just told you yesterday, right? 20% dip in Bitcoin. It's already bounced up a little bit since then. It's a fantastic thing. But back to what I was saying. I don't usually get into spats on social media. But there was all these comments, and everybody was, just fighting for excuses. And I just wanted to read some of these to you, and then I wanted to read my comment, and the person that foolishly thought that I haven't read books and I don't know about what happened in American history. This is insane. So they were saying, me when I'm delusional. This one really got me. Stagflation is high inflation and high inflation. We are in stagflation, not recession. It's like, I literally was like, that's what? It's high inflation, a stagnant economy. But this is what really gets me. So I was like, dummies here think that there's no recovery after a recession just because of a period of stagflation. Ask any Americans who lived through the 70s how the 80s treated them. And this is what gets me. And this is what brings me to the idea that you can't save everyone. Someone replied to me and said, babe, it's 2025. The governments during those decades were ran by people who sort of cared about us, and that's why they worked to fix shit. Our government now is ran by billionaires who will squeeze every cent they can out of us before they can even pretend to care about us. There is no recovery. I want you to really think about the kind of person who would say something like that. I want you to think, these people are a dime a dozen. Doomers who have, once again, bought into way too much of the media. They got lost in the sauce, and oof, it's bad. It's scary hours, right? These people genuinely believe everything that's fed to them from a news source, and everything that they read on social media from somebody who dropped out of high school, and who dropped out of high school and wasn't even passing the classes in high school, right? They're trying to convince you that the government, who had to codify into law that people who looked like me and people who were me, or maybe even like you, could vote. We had a civil rights movement. Let's go back even further than that. We had a time whenever there were billionaires, right? We're talking railroad tycoons who would literally send the National Guard in and mow down people who tried to unionize. Like, I'm not trying to get political by any means, but inherently when you talk finance and when you talk about history, it gets political to some degree. There has never, in American history ever, I'm telling you this verbatim as someone who, on paper, right, and according to all the media, should be the most oppressed kind of person on earth, there has never been a better time to be an American, period, but especially an American who's a different race, a different religion, a different gender, a different sexuality, whatever. I don't care. I don't care who you are, what you are. There has never been a better time. You have the same opportunities, and right now, as the richest person on Wall Street, for accumulating wealth, if you know how to do it the proper way, which is exactly why I'm picking up sand dollars on the beach and I'm throwing you back into the water. You have to get back into the game. You have to. And the coolest part about it is, I don't necessarily have to be the one to throw you back in. in this scenario, you can be walking down the beach, find yourself and give yourself another chance. You can be the person. Bitcoin is the great equalizer. And I'm going to keep telling people over and over and over and over again, you can have something that the richest people in the entire world, forget America, the world want. And when it's yours, and you dictate what you do with it. I cannot sit idly by and listen to people I don't know how old that person is. I don't know who they are from Adam. They came to comment on my stuff. I didn't comment on theirs. And then, surprise, surprise, whenever I gave them the response about this exact topic, suddenly it's mute, right? They opened a book and all of a sudden all of this must have hit them like a train. I don't know. But I can't sit idly by comfortably and not give out the information that I have acquired over this better part of a full decade now. It's not right for me to do. Information and knowledge it's like seeds. It's meant to be disseminated so that, more knowledge can propagate, right? More plants can grow and everybody benefits, right? We're creating a beautiful garden. We took a barren wasteland and we made something fantastic from it. Because a lot of people are operating, they're moving around day to day as if wealth and financial freedom is something that just drops on them like luck. It is a very intentional process for you to become wealthy. I do not want you to think that it takes no efforts, no energy, no time, that you will not. Man, I have sat down in front of my computer. I remember this so vividly when I was in school and just broke as a joke. Worse than a joke. What Nikki and I say, broke people should never laugh. When I was the brokest I've ever been. Just in tears because I couldn't figure it out. And it would make me, I would be a horrible person if I didn't tell you guys like, yo, you don't gotta cry. You don't have to be sad. You just gotta have a plan. And boom, 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 boom. And I didn't break it down for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be a horrible person to do that. So all that to say, when you're watching these videos, and inevitably I'm going to say something incendiary, somebody's going to get offended, somebody's going to be upset, that's fine. You can comment what you want, but just know I'm a hard ass and I am going to challenge you right back. And I'm going to look at all of my comments until I get to the point on this platform where I cannot. But I care enough about you guys to say, like, listen, if you're at my level, if you are, you haven't made your first million yet, but you're trying to figure out the steps to get started and get that ball rolling just like I am, bro, I'm here to try to help you stick and move and avoid the same traps that I fell into. Because, man, if I had somebody that was like me talking to me back then, I could have saved myself a lot of nights of high cortisol. So I wanted to bring that up, man. Like, this world is a crazy place and there's much more gray area than there is black and white if people are really wanting to be honest with themselves. But not everybody's going to be saved. Not everybody wants to be saved. Some people just want to have something to complain about, and there are some people who are actually looking for solutions. Decide who you want to be. Like, decide if you really want it. Because nobody's coming to give it to you. Like, if there was just wealth being just given out for free with no effort, I'm pretty sure it would already be saturated full of people and you would be the billionth person in line. So, I know that this video is going on about 19 minutes. It's Wednesday here, the first week of the month. So, in Texas, in North Texas, we got the tornado sirens going. So, I'm going to let you guys go. But I had to get that off my heart, off my chest, man. I've been thinking about y'all, and y'all are so worth it. And if I can help, give somebody a fighting chance to say, look, listen, I'm going to commit. Like, I'm going to do it one more time. Let me just try one more time. Let's make some plans together. Let's make some progress with our goals, right? Because nobody's waiting for you. Like I said, it's dog eat dog. If you don't go and get yours, it's going on my plate, or somebody that works at BlackRock's plate, or somebody on Wall Street's plate, or some other millionaire or billionaire or sovereign wealth fund, and I would hate to see you miss out. I would hate to see you miss out, because the institutions are going to eat regardless. I don't want you to miss out. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I wish you guys nothing but peace and prosperity and laughter and joy and fun and dedication and discipline. Okay? We're going to make it. We're going to make it. It's going to take time. It's brick by brick, but you know what? We're going to get there. So if you like this video, if you're with me on this journey, if you have something that you want to say, if you disagree with me saying that it's the best time to ever be an American, then, leave me a comment. I want to talk to you guys. Y'all are the reason why I'm here. And y'all make the world go round for me. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I will be back again with another video pretty soon. And if you have any video suggestions or any topics you want me to talk about, drop a comment down below, please. Yeah, with that, I'm out of here. Peace.